just in case you still think that there aren't any wildfire prevention jobs near you, I want to let you know that we have them everywhere in the United States. In fact, Beth, I know we've heard a little bit about what the folks in the West can do to prevent wildfires, but wildfires can happen pretty much anywhere in the country too, right?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Wildfires can occur anywhere that there's vegetation that's burnable. So that's all across the country. Definitely California, like we talked about, Alaska, Maine, down to Florida. Fires can start anywhere. For example, in forests where the leaf litter and the pine needles are dry, fires can start in fields and grasslands. Actually, I didn't know if you realize this, but there's more ignitions in the eastern United States than the West, maybe because we have more people. But here's another neat fact for you. I don't know if you've ever been to the Florida Everglades, where the tall grass grows out of the water. That grass actually can burn. Fires actually can burn across the water through those grasslands, which we call the Everglades. So my take-home message is wherever you are, you need to be careful about fire.
Oh, so important. Yes, we all have to be careful with fire. Wow, fire walking on water, that sounds like miraculous. All right, so um, Kara, can you tell us a little bit about what prescribed fire is? Because we heard that a couple of times, that phrase. And is it also true that we have prescribed fires in all of our regions and not just in the very dry parts?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So prescribed fire is an intentional fire that's there to help balance out the system that might be a little bit out of balance for one reason or another, or to reach an objective, likely for safety, also for ecological health, right? So there's a whole suite of reasons why we would want prescribed fire on the land, and it occurs everywhere. So here's my fun fact. Over 10 million acres of prescribed fire was burned last year. 10 million, that's crazy. MJ, you told us at the very beginning of this that 193 million acres were taken care of just by the Forest Service. Now, the Forest Service accounts for about, like 1.5, maybe a little bit more of that in prescribed fire. So there's a whole lot of other professionals out there who are help taking care of our ecological health and our human health and safety.
Go teamwork. All right, so this is for you all at home. We can see that we do need everybody everywhere to be careful with wildfire. So you are a part of the team. Now, speaking of everywhere, we have a couple of questions coming in from viewers all around the country. Let's see if right now we can just see if we can get to a couple of those. I have two. One is, somebody's thinking about the careers. They're asking, what is the beginning salary for a job like yours or jobs in fire?
Oh boy, that's a fantastic question. It depends on what job we're talking about. Geez, for scientists, I want to say somewhere around 60,000 a year seems like a good even number. Mary Beth, do you have thoughts on that?
I don't think I could come up with a specific number, but if you start at the basic, we call it a firefighter 2, that's an entry-level firefighter position, you will end up working on wildfires where you'll have overtime and you'll have hazard pay. It's seasonal, so sometimes that works. Once you're in college, you can only work in the summer then. That works. And then there's lots of places you can go from there in the career world.
Right. If you check out the USA Jobs website, you can learn about what the skills are for different positions for all kinds of jobs in the federal government.
Cool, very thorough, and you all got to answer it. Thank you. Another quick one. Let's see if we can get to it real fast. How often do lightning strikes make wildfires in the Southwest?
We have outside of Florida, and our forest has the highest lightning load in the country. I would say every year we have dozens and hundreds. From a fire ecology perspective, there should be, and often are, dozens, hundreds of fires burning across the West at any one time. Mostly we get our big wildfires in May and June when it's super hot and dry. And then we have a monsoon season where it rains a lot and we have a lot more fires. Those are mostly good fires that produce good effects in August and September.
I'm looking at our clock, and that's why my face is getting a little bit sad, because we have to start to go to close, and we've only got to answer 2 questions so far. But man, what a great show this has been. Thank you so much, Beth, Mary, and Kara. That's all the time we have today with y'all, our experts. Let's check back in one more time with Genesis and Smokey as we wrap up.
Thanks, MChat.
Absolutely. The importance of preventing wildfires should be clear by now, as well as what you can do to help.
When in doubt, remember Smokey Bear's 5 rules of wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires. Always be careful with fire. Never play with matches or lighters. Always watch your campfire. And make sure your campfire is completely out before leaving it.
And I want to thank Smokey Bear for joining us today. And I hope that this program has inspired you to take some time to learn more about his rules. You can also go to his website to learn more about Smokey.
Also, we'd love to hear from you about this program. Send us a message or a question to fsconservationeducation@gmail.com, or tell us what you've been doing to protect the land from wildfire.
Lastly, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. My super smart cousin Genesis, our guests Beth, Linda, and Kara, as well as the folks answering questions online.
And of course, a big thanks to you for watching. If you're interested in other programs like this one, check them out at fsnaturelive.org. We have programs on climate change, freshwater, grasslands, pollinators, and much more.
In fact, we have one coming up later this month called Moon Trees Live.
The Forest Service and NASA will launch hundreds of tree seeds that will orbit the moon on board Artemis 1. Students will be able to talk to scientists live about the project on October 27th, 2022 at 1:00 p.m. Eastern Time.
So blast off and be sure to check that one out. See you then.
Bye.